There is no series out there quite like Animal Crossing. Over the years following the release of the first game, many have tried to capture the magic with titles such as My Sims and Disney Magical World. But nobody has really come close to capturing the charm or appeal of living in your Animal Crossing town. Just last year, a new mainline game finally launched on the Nintendo Switch, and it's already the biggest one yet. So you'd think that a gigantic Animal Crossing fan like myself would be quite happy. However, that's not exactly the case. You see, there's one pretty big problem with the new Animal Crossing. New Horizons is completely soulless. It doesn't feel like Animal Crossing. It lost the charm, the magic, the appeal. The core of the series has changed, and it's changed for the worse. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I mean, exactly where this game goes wrong. To do this, I first have to establish what is so great about the rest of Animal Crossing. To me, Animal Crossing is, well, was, a series where you get to simulate a life with no real conflict. A life that is, in concept, almost definitely better than your own. No stress, no enemies, no pain, no worries. You make friends, you decorate your house, you build up money at your own pace, you unlock cool new things to do constantly. Animal Crossing is the perfect escape. New Horizons spits in the face of those who want an escape. It gets the core experience in favor of a shallow mess built around aesthetic alone. The journey to get to the endgame is laborious. The endgame itself is extremely underwhelming. And the thing that the gameplay loop is centered around, making things that look cool to show to your friends, is too limited, and is built around the kind of communication and real-world interaction the series once tried to take you away from. Let's now dive deeper into 3 specific core problems. Problem number 1. Making progress isn't fun. Animal Crossing, before New Horizons, was never a game about progress. It was never supposed to be. It is a break from progress, a relaxing digital respite. You pay an interest-free loan off at your leisure, and that's about it. However, things have really changed in the newest entry. It has a very clear progression system. When you first start the game, your island doesn't even have a single house on it. Now sure, this may go against the point of Animal Crossing, but it could still be fun, right? Who doesn't love building up a village in Minecraft or a farm in Harvest Moon? So, what do you do to build your town? Well, busy work. This game is built around busy work and tedium. How do you build up structures? You mash through slow, boring menus, and use up resources to click something and wait. How do you get those resources? You hit things by mashing A. But wait, you can't hit everything at first. No, in the early game you need to hit things more slowly, to mash through more menus, to make more tools, to hit more things. The gameplay loop is pretty much just mashing A. That's it. Sometimes you walk in front of a tree or a rock, but at the end of the day, you just mash A, no matter what you're doing. And look at something boring and mundane happen on the screen. It's not engaging, it's not satisfying. It's just dull. They give you achievements of sorts to try to offer more short-term rewards, but these too get repetitive fast and offer little that's truly interesting. If you're going to force the kind of reward-based gameplay loop that Animal Crossing once actively fought against into the game, the least you could do is make it not miserable to deal with. Problem number 2. A lackluster late game. So yeah, the process of getting to the late game sucks. But once you're there, it's gotta be cool, right? You've finally built up an Animal Crossing village, and now it should just be Animal Crossing. Except not quite. That whole crafting thing, it never goes away. You never get tools that don't break. So doing the standard menial Animal Crossing tasks, shaking your trees, looking for the money rock, watering flowers, you'll almost always have to interrupt it with even more annoying garbage. When a tool inevitably breaks, and they really do break all the time, I'm talking at least once a day, even if you just log on to do the 5 minutes of menial stuff I mentioned before, you have to stop, run home, mash through menus for a whole minute, craft your new tool, walk back, and get ready to do it again tomorrow. Crafting is a constant annoyance, even after your town is fully built up. It adds nothing to the game but hours of wasted time. So you've done that. Now what do? You have 2 shops. You buy furniture you'll never use in Tom Nook's place, and waste half an hour buying clothes you'll never wear at the Able Sisters shop, because even the menus there are a chore to mash through. That's it. Across most of the Animal Crossing series, the game's added more and more fun activities to participate in. By New Leaf, you could play minigames with friends, dive for fish, visit the club, work at a cafe, even visit random towns in your dreams. So what can you do in New Horizons? Well, at launch, not even a single thing I just listed. It's been over a year now, and we still don't even have the cafe, which first appeared 15 years ago. Every core part of this game is just monotony with no meaningful reward. But at least you can still hang out with your animal friends, right? Well, problem number 3, shallow dialogue. Animal Crossing New Horizons has not only the most uninteresting and dull, repetitive dialogue in the series, but some of the worst dialogue I've seen in any game. In all the past Animal Crossing games, it felt like villagers truly had something new to say almost every single day. And they'd meaningfully interact with you, too. You'd give them nicknames and catchphrases, visit their house for parties, and hear about what's going on in their everyday lives. They felt almost alive. In New Horizons, half of my villagers said the exact same few things to me every single week. There's just no character at all. There are 8 personality types that villagers can have in this game, and villagers of the same type all act identically. Villagers of different types act pretty much identically too, because nobody ever says anything of substance. Personality type really only determines how a villager will say hello to you, and hello is pretty much all any villager will ever say. I cannot say with confidence that the older Animal Crossing games had more dialogue, or that villagers of the same personality type didn't have totally identical personalities. It's possible the core structure is the same. But, if it was, I never noticed, and that's what really matters here. There's a chance Animal Crossing dialogue is always built on an illusion, but in New Horizons that illusion is totally and completely shattered. The special NPCs aren't much better than the normal villagers either. There are a few rare exceptions, like the Able Sisters, who all have distinct personalities and tell somewhat of an actual story throughout the game. But most of the special characters are like Isabelle, who exists to give you a summary of relevant news at the start of every day you play that is almost always just saying that nothing is happening. There are also so few characters to interact with. Even series icons like Brewster and Kapp'n are still missing a year later. The dialogue once filled Animal Crossing games with life. It was quirky, it was interesting, and it was full of character. But now, it's just nothing. It has no substance, it serves basically no purpose. This game is just not concerned with getting you to care about the people in your village. You don't even feel like there are people in your village. You're designing a hub to hang out with your real friends in. And that's about it. And I know that this strategy of focusing on customization and multiplayer definitely paid off financially for Nintendo. Even my mom played New Horizons last year. But it drained Animal Crossing of the soul that defined the series for so long. So those are the biggest core problems that I think the game has, the things that are fundamentally flawed with it. But the way that these problems interact and some of the smaller problems also contribute to just how bad this game is. I think it's pretty clear that if you want to play Animal Crossing the way you would in the old games, you're just out of luck. You're forced to deal with hours of bad progression to reach a late game that is itself lackluster, where you live in a town that has nothing to do and is full of inhabitants that act as soulless as they truly are. But if you want to focus on customization, something the game clearly decided to try and focus on itself, you have to deal with annoying time barriers and super slow resource collection, because the game still has to structure itself like a slow-paced life sim for the late game to work at all. If you want to focus on the progression system, I imagine you'd be disappointed with the core of that element no matter what. But even if you really enjoyed mashing the A button in front of rocks and trees, eventually that resource collection stops evolving. Actually, that happens extremely quickly. You'll have all the main resources you can get after only a few days of playing. And then all that remains to do is the slow customization and the shallow life sim stuff. Even if you just want to play online with friends, the minigame island is gone and there's nothing to do. The lobby system is also extremely slow. Connecting can take multiple minutes, and one new connection pauses the game for everybody. And there's not even voice chat. Playing New Horizons online is basically just like sitting in a Discord call with 500 ping and no mic. It's pointless. I've seen people make impressive islands after lots of time spent, and maybe showing that off to your friends can be cool. But games like Minecraft exist, with so many more options, so much better online capabilities, so much faster and deeper progression, and it isn't shoved into the framework of a game that was built to be something else. Ultimately, Animal Crossing New Horizons is a soulless mess that tries to cater to multiple crowds and ends up failing to cater to anyone, at least in my opinion. Its life sim elements are worse than every other Animal Crossing game, and its customization elements are worse than tons of games that are way cheaper, like Minecraft and Gmod. As a longtime fan of the Animal Crossing series, I couldn't be more disappointed. And as a longtime fan of games like Minecraft, I couldn't be more underwhelmed with the new elements. I would recommend against buying New Horizons, but given its financial success, chances are you've already purchased it. And I guess I hope you're happy with your purchase. I just personally wish Nintendo didn't take this series in this direction, and I hope, though I don't have much of a reason to believe, that this one won't be the blueprint for the future of the series. Thank you guys for watching this video, I really appreciate it. If you liked it, I'd also really appreciate it if you liked, commented, hit the notification bell, and or subscribed. I'd also recommend you check out some of my other content, like my video on why I believe the Wii U is better than the Nintendo Switch, or my review of Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, a Nintendo game you should actually buy. If you want to see additional updates about the channel, follow me on Twitter or Instagram, or join my Discord server, all linked in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your day.